Hey guys, welcome back. This probably will be my last video. I'm sure you're not very sad about it, and truthfully neither am I. My kids said, didn't you wear that in one of your other videos? I probably did. Aren't you guys wearing the same clothes every 3 days? I am, I know that. But anyways, last video, we're still, our district pretty much said that this is our last week to give you guys new material. And it threw a wrench in a lot of our plans because we really thought we had about 3 more weeks with you guys. So one of the things that's done for you all is there won't be an argumentative writing assignment. And it was actually going to be more of a project where you did a lot of analysis or you were allowed to create your own argument. I actually get really excited about that assignment every year. But I think you guys have been troopers through this online learning stuff. So I think you deserve this little break or this early end. I'm hoping that we get a normal summer and to see you guys around Lewis Center during all of that. So that's about the last week of materials this week. I'll be updating Power School and reaching out to students. I've been doing that throughout. So some of the discussion posts, if it looks like maybe somebody hasn't understood or they just haven't really done what I consider to be up to their potential, usually I've reached out and I'll continue to do that this week. So be checking on that. Next week, I'll send out anything that's missing, anything that you might want to redo. I'll give some options for that. So we will still be on here next week, but there won't be any new assignments. I feel like keeping track of kids' work is difficult with this remote learning, You submit online, so sometimes I don't know if you've submitted something late and I need to go back into an assignment that I've already graded. So reach out to me if you think something's off and I'll definitely double check it. We're in this together, so make sure you let me know. Last week's work, I appreciate you doing the Lexia screening. That was in place of Ames Web. I saw my own kids doing them and I know it wasn't a ton of fun, but I appreciate you guys that took the time to do that, and I'll be reaching out if you forgot. And then just looking some more at the appeals, only this time in a speech. And I really like that speech that we used because I thought that, first of all, I thought it was really raw emotion. It was very quickly after the event had occurred. So there was a lot of emotion in that speech. And I think that's what good argument uses, a ton of emotion. But you got to be careful not to be all emotion and all heart. And not really have done your homework with logos and have those good reasons and the evidence and support for those good reasons. And just to make sure that your credibility, that you're not too emotional to where you seem weak and not able to kind of communicate what you need to communicate. So this week we're going to really talk about, before you go into an argument, you have to get grounded in both sides of it. And I think that's something that as a parent, I see more when I'm dealing with my kids. Sometimes I think, I don't know if you've really thought this through from my perspective. And I'll hear their great argument for their side of things, but have they really thought about the other side of the argument? And maybe I didn't do that as a teenager either, but I do think it's something that when we're going into an argument, we really have to get grounded in what the opposition's stance is. So we're going to be looking at that. And the reason we do it is, even if you have a good argument, you're still going to want to provide what we call counterclaim, where you say, and this will help your ethos, where you say, you know what? I know what your reasons are going to be to go against what I have to say. And you kind of show them that you've already done their homework. It takes the wind out of their sails when you say what they're going to say first, and then you refute it, rather than letting them present that argument. So we're going to talk a little bit about looking at both sides of an argument. We're still at that analysis part where I don't really want your opinions yet, and we're not going to get there this year, but I really don't want your opinions on if, the gun laws. I don't want your opinions on, we're going to be reading about video gaming. Even the COVID virus, I put some enrichment activities out there for Dr. Amy Akin because I think she uses the appeals so well, and it's why people are really connected with her. But if you were to really analyze argument, you're really stepping away from the points, what your stance is on it and your opinion, and you're just breaking down how that person really attacked their argument, how they went after, like, how am I going to build this appeal and use pathos and build my ethos, and what are my good reasons or my logos that I can use. So we're going to be analyzing in the Schoology discussion post after you do these 2 Newsella articles that you're going to do this week. There's a Schoology discussion post where I don't want your opinions on video gaming. Maybe I'll open one of those discussion posts up on Friday and get your thoughts. But you're just going to be analyzing the arguments and discussing which one you thought was most effective in the way they presented the argument. And I'm sure you have a stance on video games. As a matter of fact, I just had to yell up to my own kids and say, I don't want to hear you screaming at whoever you're gaming with, because I'm about to make a video. So I know the video gaming is very important right now. So I want you to step away from that, maybe your stance on it, and really just analyze, how did the speaker of the argument, the author of the argument, really present their good ideas. And then just something to think about, end of the school, the district's been putting out some things about locker clean out and pick up. We're going to be cleaning out your lockers for you, which I'm a little nervous about. But be looking for the dates that you can come and pick those things up. Don't forget, if you have library books that are overdue, they're due. If you can drop them off anywhere. You can put them in my mailbox if you wanted to, but really you can drop them off at the school, or on that day that you pick up your locker belongings, you can just give them to us then. And be looking for some love from us, because we really are sad that we aren't going to get to do our Olympics and our breakfast and just some of the things that we love to do with kids at the end of the school year. I can't tell you how many times on our texting and on our team meetings, the teachers and we've really enjoyed this class. I mean it. Like, I typed in names for a presentation thing that we're going to be doing later, and I was almost crying doing it, because I thought, I really just like each of these kids just for who they are. And I've really enjoyed this year with you all. And I said, this was a hard year for me. Probably the hardest year of my life. And I don't know if every group of kids would have been as flexible and as understanding and as compassionate. And I just want you to know that I can barely talk about this group of students, because I just feel like I felt your support and your flexibility, and that meant so much to me just this past school year. So be looking for love from us. I appreciate you guys. I miss you all. If you reach out to me, I have Schoology conference with lots of kids, sometimes just about nothing, just because, to check in. I would love to do that. But as always, reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great week. Bye.